Hello everyone, welcome to Professional Training Academy, your own learning center. In today's quick video, we are going to talk about Agile board and the structure of an Agile team, mostly the Agile room. So we will cover what is an Agile board, how does it look like, what is the significance of Agile board, and what information do we populate in this board and how do we use it. Right? Quickly, we will look at on this important point. Agile board typically is a representation of the user stories for a sprint, right? So as we have learned that team commits at the beginning of the sprint, there are a number of user stories that they are going to complete by end of this sprint, right? And in daily Scrum meeting, which is a stand-up meeting, we talk about three things. What did we do, right? Yesterday, what we are planning to do today, and if there's any block, right? So this way, we monitor the progress for each member of the team in terms of user stories that they are working on, right? And in the Agile board, we represent the same thing, right? It typically has three columns. It shows the progress on a daily basis. It is updated on a daily basis. What information does it carry? It typically have three columns. One column will show to do, the items that we need to work, right? The second column or the other column shows in progress. It shows the item which are in progress, right? In progress to the respective member, whether it is development in progress, testing in progress, that information is there. And the third column and the final column is done. This is the status of all the stories which we have already completed, right? If this is the day 3 of the sprint, there might be a couple of stories which we have already completed, development and testing done. The stories are ready. This is done, right? So all those stories will be under done status, right? Generally, Agile suggests that your Agile board should be physically located within the room where Agile team is situated, right? Agile teams sit together. This is what is the fundamental concept, right? It says that the team should be together. It should sit together. Within that room, physically, the Agile board is also present. And the board should be set up in such a way that everybody can see it, right? Nobody should sit in such a way that the board is at the back of them, right? And do at their back, right? It should be visible to everyone. This is how it should be set up in a standard Agile environment, right? And as I mentioned earlier, that during daily stand-up meeting, where each member of the Agile team, they provide their status, the Agile board is also updated at the same time. For example, yesterday, one of the story was in progress, which means it was testing in progress, for example. Now this is done. So during or at the time when the member is providing the status of this particular story will also move from in progress to done if this is already done, right? Some of the items maybe in yesterday's meeting, maybe in to-do list, we have picked up and it is in progress. So the status should reflect correctly. At any given point of time during the daily stand-up, at the end of the daily stand-up meeting, that status should be accurately updated on the Agile board, right? It is very simple and easy to do. We all know, right? A typical Agile board within the Agile room looks exactly like what we see in this image, right? You have certain items on to-do list. There are a couple of items on in progress. There are a couple of items that is already done, right? And these are different sections, so to do, in progress, and done. To understand this more, right, let's look at a standard example of how we are showing the standard Agile board within the Agile room, right? For the development team, for the developer, Alex, like there are a couple of items that is in to-do list. There are certain items that is in progress. There are a couple of items that is already done, right? For the design, there are certain items in progress, there are certain items in done, right? This is at an individual level, right? That this is how that particular member is progressing with that task, right? But the final status done of the story means that the story is already completed. It is completed from development. It is also completed from QA, right? So based on the requirement, this is a very standard dashboard, agile dashboard that we see, but based on the requirement of the project, we can further customize and include certain more columns. For example, to read this better, for development in progress, we can mark it as development in progress. We can mark it as development done, right? There can be another column which is testing in progress, right? There can be another column which is testing done, right? And then the final status of the story will be done. So that done status would show exactly that not only development on this particular story is completed, this story is also testing, or the QA team has validated it. And now this story is ready. This is ready to be reviewed by the product owner, right? As part of development activity within the sprint, we have already completed this, right? The next step would be, we will mark it as done, but the next step would be to demo it to product owner, which we generally do at the last day of the sprint, right? During sprint review. And then product owner, based on product owner or client, whatever is the structure of that particular project or team, right? Based on that, the product owner will validate the story against the acceptance criteria and accept it or reject it. If the story is accepted by the product owner, it means that now this story is ready to be moved into production, right? Everything else has been done, right? So this is how we typically manage the agile board. And as I mentioned, that the agile board should be viewed, it should be set up in such a way that everybody in the team can see that agile board at any given point of time, right? So this is a very standard agile room where all the member of the team are sitting together, and agile board is, for example, is being set up here so that each one of us can look at the agile board. And during the daily stand-up meeting, we also update that board. We make sure that it is updated. Toward the end of the sprint, on the last day of the sprint, the expectation is that all the stories that at the beginning of the sprint was to-do list should be there on the done status. That is the ideal scenario for this sprint. What does that signify? It signifies that whatever we have planned at the beginning of the sprint, right, we have successfully achieved that. That shows that our planning is good. What we have planned, we at the end of the sprint, we have delivered that, right? In case if some of the stories are not delivered, obviously we do the review and retrospective, and then accordingly take an action on those stories, whether the stories are going to be moved to next sprint or it is going to go back to the product backlog. The standard process on Agile, we will cover from here, right? So in this video, we just wanted to quickly cover the concept of Agile board and the structure of an Agile team. In the next video, we will talk about what do we do on review and retrospective, right? Especially on the reviews of the stories which we could not complete. What is the standard action that we should take, right? Feel free to reach out to us for more information on Agile training programs, right? On Agile projects, on understanding of Agile, or any other query that you have. This slide shows our contact details. Reach out to us and keep on learning. Feel free to provide your feedback on the comments on the video. Suggest us the topics that you want us to prepare videos. We will do it. Okay. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.